this has to do with the minor subdivision plan approval. Eric?
Sure. I know the engineer's here.
Good evening, Brian Boyer from Boyer Engineering.
You want to summarize it?
Sure, so it is.
Could you use the microphone, please?
My apologies. The resolution's in here to grant approval for the two-lot subdivision. As I said, the engineer's here to answer any questions that you may have. Just to point out, it is conditioned on them complying with all of the consultant's review letters. There are 3 waivers, which you've seen before, which are the waiver from widening the cul-de-sac to 30 feet, and the reason for that is it's an existing driveway and it only serves the 2 lots. It leaves them from putting in sidewalks. There's very minor road frontage here and curbing along the road frontage. It then also requires payment and fee in lieu of dedication, among some other things that happen post-approval, but it is ready for board action. Anything you want to add?
Well, I guess the 2 comments that I had was, first, it was asking whether the township approves the name of West Aspen Drive. If you're okay with that, because the one across the street is Aspen Drive, we just made it simple that way. That's one of the comments that we had to address. The other one I was hoping is that the property owners are, it's a trust, which is basically the brother and the sister own it, and they were hoping, I guess, they were initially planning to just do a 2-lot subdivision and just try to flip it or sell the lots, but your process made them go through all the way to the end and have full engineered drawings and everything, instead of letting somebody come in with a blank lot and then do the development on their lot as the individual buys the property. I was hoping that we could maybe just have an option of either the escrow would be required at the building permit stage, or that the escrow would not be required at all, and then you just use the occupancy permit. We have 2 single-family houses. There's no proposed cul-de-sac or road going in, and all the improvements are water service or sewer services coming in from the street, and then they would have their own E&S stuff that they would handle on their own for each individual lot. So we're hoping that we can at least defer the escrow so that we can get the plan approved, recorded, because technically they may not want to post the escrow, so that we try to find somebody to buy the property. So that's kind of where it's a little bit of a twist.
No, I don't believe an escrow was part of Pete's letter.
Yes.
It is in there
Comment number 4.
to require it.
Financial security will need to be provided.
Well, what are you providing financial security for if there's no?
NPDS permit items, E&S controls, stormwater basins,
I
and
got you.
appurtenances.
Okay. So.
So they're all on lot individual items to me. It didn't say sewer or anything like that, so.
So the way we would normally handle that is that you would get all the approvals, but you wouldn't record the plans until you had your buyer.
Right.
That way the buyer would post that while you're, and then you record the plans and post the security all the same.
Well, I know once we approve it tonight, we have a 90-day clock, so I don't want to have that drag out too long in case the process drags out too long for them.
Understood. Yeah, I don't know if you can, I don't think you can waive it yet, so, and there's times that where we can get letters to record it after 90 days as well.
Understood, but maybe we could do it as a escrow required at the building permit stage versus required at the plan recording stage? That's,
Yeah, I
Slight
don't know that
concession.
we're prepared to address that this evening, maybe have to come back with that request, so.
So why weren't this stuff worked out beforehand?
I just got the letter a couple days ago.
Because this is the first I'm hearing this request,
Yeah.
so.
So,
Yes, sir. We're gonna, unless
So-
you're recommending otherwise, we're gonna need to table this.
yeah, just so the board's aware, so they, you guys did the waivers last month, and it was the applicant's request that you put the approval on for this month. And, it is true that he just got the review letter not too long ago from LTO, I think it was dated December 11th. But again, this is the first I'm hearing about it as well, so it's up to the board what their wish is.
So what are you recommending?
What's your, do you know what our clock is?
Could you use the microphone, please?
Do we know what our clock is on this?
I
So
don't off the top,
so
no.
my recommendation would be to approve it the way it is. If they want to come back and postpone that, we can put that as an amendment to the resolution later. But I think, other than that request, it's ready to be approved. Your approval tonight would require the escrow during the normal course of business. If they wanna amend that, they'd have to come back and ask for that, and then we can run that by the engineer,
Yeah.
our office, and them.
20th.
Yeah, so I don't wanna delay it. I don't wanna,
Okay.
well, I don't
That's
want
fine.
some trouble with the clock.
Okay, so what we'll do then, unless you guys wanna talk about this some more, I'll ask Eric to frame up the motion, okay? And then we'll need a motion to approve, and then those who want, and then a second, those want to.
Could you please use the microphone?
We'll go with the recommendation of the commissioner.
Excuse me, could you please use the microphone? We can't hear you.
It's on.
It's on.
It's not
Okay,
picking you up.
well, let's don't argue. All right, so, if everybody's okay with that? All right, you wanna go ahead and make a motion?
So it would be a motion to approve resolution 773 for the Born-Dran minor subdivision plan approval, and all the conditions are listed there. So it'd be just like it is written in the agenda.
Okay, I'll need a motion for that.
Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Hearing a motion, is there a second? Lower one, Dave. Oh, there you go.
I'll second that one.
Hearing a second, more discussion?
There was a minor question at the beginning, about the name of the road approval, did you ask
Yeah,
about?
that has to be, so that has to go through the channels, the
EMS.
township doesn't approve that, it's county emergency services and,
Postal
Microphone,
postal
please.
service. So the approval of the road name is approved by the county emergency services and, just the county board of assessments, not typically the township. I will have our zoning officer look at the road name, but typically that gets approved through the county and the postal service.
Just to give the applicant, there's no objection to that name from
Correct,
everybody here,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you won't get any fight from us.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion carries.
Eric, will that be emailed to us, or how's that? how do we do that?
So, your client said that he was gonna pick it up here on Thursday, take it to
Okay.
get it signed, and he's gonna bring it back here on Thursday.
All right.
So, but if you
Okay,
need it
just-
emailed, we can get it
Well,
out to you as well.
the discussion I had today was he was coming to my office to pick it up Wednesday, so I just wanna make sure we're all on the
So,
same
yeah,
page
so
here.
We will,
So I'll
we'll-
make sure
we'll
that
make
he's
sure you
picking up
coordinate
here.
with my office, all right,
So-
we'll make sure you get whatever you need, but we'll make sure it's either here or there, whichever one works out for your
Okay.
client, okay?
All right, great, thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Moving to old business B, this is consideration to update the financial security for the Foxborough Pond. This is, what used to be called Coomer Phase One, has nothing to do with, 2A and 2B, which are the other developments that our team is going through. So this is, a piece on, because of the amount of houses being built there to adjust the security.
So historically, when this first got approved, they posted, an amount of security at that point in time, and the agreement was, once they got to 89 building permits, they could not get any more building permits until they renewed their security. So essentially what they had to do is, go line by line through the financial security, determine what's remaining, determine what the current cost of those improvements are, and post that security. They came up with about 1.4 million, our engineer came up with about 1.9 million in remaining costs, escrows, contingencies, legal and engineering fees. They agreed to accept our number, so this amends their security, the amount of security, to the 1.9 number that was created by the township engineer. So, since they accepted your number, I believe it's, ready for approval of that, and they've signed the agreement, the bank has signed the agreement. The only remaining piece is for the township to approve and sign the agreement.
Okay, more questions for Eric on this? Again, this is a recalibration of the security requirements. I'll need a motion.
I'll make the motion, to approve, the new security agreement, updated one.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Here in a second, more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Old business C, this has to do with the item we were discussing, has to do with a waiver. Michelle, you wanna take that overview, or Eric can take it? Eric?
Yep. So, this was in front of the board last month, and this has to do with the, slope of the existing driveway, and the property owners were seeking to have the waiver to allow the, driveway to stay the way it was previously approved but not constructed, but currently designed. And I know there's been a lot of work done between the lot owners, and the township to get the facts straight between last month and this month, and I believe, that there is, the board wanted to reconsider the denial of that waiver. So really, if you wanted to, change your action from last month, it would be simply to approve that one remaining waiver for the slope of the driveway.
That being said, we'll need a motion on the table to go ahead and approve that waiver, and I'll need a motion on that.
I'll make that motion to approve the waiver.
Hearing a motion, is there a second?
I will second that.
Hearing a second, discussion.
I just let commissioners know, I kinda took the lead on this one, and with permission of the or with the property owners, I did speak to their engineer and what would be the fix, and I think I sent it out to everybody. But we'd be basically putting in switchbacks, and the fire trucks couldn't get past it anyways. And this is the reason why we do waivers, is because I do believe that this would be quite a burden on them to become compliant, so. I think I sent it out to everybody, but that's my story, I'm sticking to it.
So we had a motion and a second, we have any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Old business D. This is the, as far as our improvement we did for our stormwater from Michelle.
So this is for the Pine Ford Road, pipe replacement and channel improvements that I spoke about earlier under my report. So, like I said, majority of the work has been completed, and so, actually, I think it's all less than 10%. So, we're looking for a motion to approve the pay application to Slough Incorporated in the amount of $195,367.25. And if you do recall, these funds were authorized by the board to use the ARPA funding that we received from the federal government for this project.
And we're okay with the work that was done?
Yes, yep, it's been inspected and approved by LTL.
I'll need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion for $195,367.25 to Slouch Incorporated for pipe replacement and channel improvements in Pine Fork Road.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Hearing a second, discussion? Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.